Hey going, it's Colby here from 4x4 Together. Today we're here with Molly and just after the Drive Tech 4x4 Winch Challenge. How you going?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Yeah, that's good. So you ran pretty well. We got some really great footage of you going out there the other day. So how did you get into it?
When I was about 16, I went full driving with a few mates up in the local mountains called King Lake.
Yeah.
And I had the best time ever, and it didn't scare me at all, which was good because I was in the car with a few girls that were very nervous. And I just loved it, and we kept going out every weekend. And I remember Dad wanted to buy me a little Hyundai Getz as my first car.
Oh, no.
And I was like, no, not having that. So
horrible.
I ended up getting a Nissan Patrol GQ.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a nugget. I definitely learned how to fix it that year. And then we ended up selling it, and I got another one. And yeah, definitely just went out every weekend.
Smashed it out.
Yeah.
And then how did you actually get into Winch Truck?
A few of my mates one of them had a winch. We called it a comp truck, but he never actually had competed it.
Yeah.
And it was a style side like this one, and I thought it was a really good looking car. And I just wanted to get into it myself. And I used to tell everyone I was going to do it, and because there was no other girls doing it, they're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
You're not
Well, there wasn't any girls out there on the...
No, I was the only girl at that comp.
Wow.
Yeah, last comp I had a girl in my navvy seat, and there was one other girl nabbing for her partner. So.
Far out.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's pretty much everywhere you go, ain't you?
Yeah, the only girl driver. I would love to have another girl driver for sure.
Yeah, well hopefully we can get you into
Bit of
it,
support.
babe.
Yeah, a bit of support for each other.
Yeah. We bought the car and then you sort of spent, 2 years doing it up?
Oh yeah, because it's only been November last year. How long's that? Nearly a year. What do we mean, halfway through a year?
Yeah.
Yeah, about a year and a half. Well, no, I didn't even do it up that much. It just was collecting money to buy massive parts. But yeah, to do it all. Yeah.
So what was done when you got it? What
was done?
Yeah.
It was a style side, which it was black over orange, which was hideous. It had all this bar work, fitter's bar work.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which is really handy when you're full driving. As you can see, I've hit it a fair few times.
Yeah, yeah.
It had the radiator in the back. The engine was how it is now, the turbo gas with twin converters. There's a front mount intercooler, and it's probably about it. I had to add the tyres, the rims, the winch, the lights.
Which is the expensive part, isn't
Yeah,
it?
the expensive part, the locker. And then I upgraded the front end with all the chromoly parts to make the GQ
So you were telling me
stronger.
before as well that you have a 24 volt and a 12 volt switch inside?
Yeah, so there's a 24 volt alternator and a 12 volt alternator. Obviously the 24 volt runs the winch.
Yep.
And the 12 volt runs the rest of the stuff in the car. So I have one 12 volt battery and two 24 volt batteries.
Yeah, right. Sweet.
Yeah.
So when did you start racing?
My first comp was at Repco Winch Challenge up in Dedarang.
Okay.
Up on the border near Myrtleford.
Yep.
It's very steep and rocky up there, dry. Didn't even wash the car, I don't think, because it was completely dry, but very steep and very rocky. Everyone thought I was crazy to do it as my first comp.
Yeah, sweet.
Because it's pretty crazy angles.
Is it a known one for being pretty?
Yeah, it's a really hard property to drive.
Right, okay.
And yeah, that was my first comp. It was heaps of fun until I accidentally hit a massive rock and my steering wheel snapped back and it threw my arm out and I fractured my arm.
Holy shit,
yeah,
really?
So I was in the hospital Saturday night.
Wow.
Instead of at the pub with everyone else.
No way, I can't believe that.
Yeah, so I had we did really well. We completed every stage.
Yeah.
Just had a few time defaults. But me and my navvy were both inexperienced.
Right.
And the car held up. I only had one bush that was ripped out, the mushroom bush, and the rope broke, so I got new rope, which I'm still running now, so that's a good quality rope.
Yeah.
And then my second comp was at Patroller Park in Nuji this year, in March. That's a really fun property. Probably it's a little bit easier to drive, it's not as steep or crazy angles, but it's very muddy.
Oh,
so it takes a bit of toll on the car, and obviously if you're in a sticky situation, you're going to slide in places you don't want to go. But yeah, we did really well at that. I had a girl navvy, both of us, obviously only my second comp, and it was her first comp navvy.
Is that just a mate or?
Yeah, that's my mate Leah. We used to take this out every weekend, and she was going to do my first comp with me, but we just decided, as it being a very difficult comp, that she was going to sit that one out and start patrol part with me, which we did. Yeah, we did really well. I think we had a few DNFs and we ended up in the bottom 10, but we still bet a few people.
Well, it's your second, second race. That's awesome.
And the car once again held up well. We drove it on the trailer, so it's always a good part. Yeah.
So your last comp was the Drive Take 4x4 challenge.
Yep.
How'd you go?
Yeah, really well. It was probably the best comp I've done. Definitely had a really experienced, probably the most experienced navvy driver in the navvy seat. So he carried me through a lot of the stages, and I drove stuff that I didn't expect to drive, or the car to drive, just because I don't have as much of a setup as most people, just considering the budget. But yeah, we did really well. We did 20 stages, and we only had 2 DNFs on time, only by a couple of seconds. Did a prologue as well at the start, and then the dash for cash at the end. And the car didn't really miss a beat. We had one minor issue, but that was due to me not putting the fans on for the intercooler at the back, the radiator. So, yeah, because they're not automatic. I really should set them up automatic so we don't have problems in the future, but I've never let them do it before, and it was one time, it got a little bit hot. So the only problems was due to that on the weekend.
So how'd you find your navvy?
Oh, he was like a miracle worker.
Really?
He did actually build most of them tracks.
Far out, wow.
Yeah, so Coops is great. I can't believe how much I learnt and the amount of confidence I have now.
Because of him,
Yeah, he just carried me through every stage, and I wasn't even nervous. I was really nervous him being in the car, because I'm like, oh god, he's so good at everything, he knows everything. But he worked really well with me and gave me lots of encouragement. So we ended up 32nd out of 42. Was hoping for a little bit, maybe top 30, but we did so well. I was just happy with how the weekend went and the car went. But definitely faster and more upgrades for next year, because it's definitely a great competition. I loved every minute of it. It was really well run as well, especially with how many tracks and stages there were.
Yeah, there was so many. Like when we rocked up, there was.
Yeah, I'd redone 3 and it was 10 o'clock in the morning or 9 or something. Yeah.
We couldn't believe how big the property was too. Like I mean, that was our first time going out as well. So we come onto the track, and then it was like we drove for another 10-15 minutes before we got to here.
It was an awesome property. Definitely can't wait for next year.
Yeah. So the rest of the properties, are they about that big as well? Or?
I'd say so, but the amount of space we use is probably the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously on the Sunday when you guys were there, mainly the spectating day, so they're all close together. You don't have to walk very far to see, like you can see 3 from pretty much one spot. But on the Saturday there was, you're really deep in bush, so if you want to watch, you've got to walk far.
Far out.
Yeah.
Far out. So what track do you felt like you done the best on?
Probably, there was one number, stage 13, the one next to the rock garden, which it was obviously had a layer of water on it in the morning, but most of the guys winched that.
Right.
And us on our little 35s drove straight up it, but it was all because of Coops. He just knew where to put the car and he just drove.
Wow.
Yeah, well. So that was really good.
Yeah.
And there was a few other ones that people said they winched, so I think it was called a ticket box, where it was like up and down one gully, like it's on a hill, but there was a gully cut out into it.
Right.
So you were like going like snake up, and there was a few people that actually rolled and winched on that one, and we just cruised around it. But it's good the car's so stable, because it isn't as high as most people's.
So after you bought the car, how long did it take you to get it actually winch ready for racing?
It took me, I brought it in June or July 2015, so I've had it for just over 2 years.
Yeah.
and I brought it, obviously, it was kind of set up, half set up. He did take a fair bit of it off it, but for himself.
Oh, okay.
So I had to put all the big money items on it, like the wheels, tyres, the winch, the lockers, the front end, that was upgraded. Yeah, all that stuff. It took about maybe a year.
Yeah.
Just to obviously gather up all the money with the budget I've got.
Which is pretty quick, isn't it?
Yeah,
really?
not too bad. I was very lucky to buy one that was half set up.
Yeah.
And with a good engine and stuff. But engine's still going well. Now that tunes it does a really good job. It's making 185 rear wheel kilowatts with about, I think it's like 8 or 7 psi. My boost gauge doesn't work, so that's just what he told me.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really reliable. It's got through 3 comps. But yeah, so the first comp I got it ready for, it was all last minute. I actually had never used the winch on this car until the first stage of my first comp.
No way.
So that was fun. That was the first stage we broke the rope as well. So it was all a learning curve, but yeah, it was heaps of fun. And just keeping on top of maintenance is the biggest thing. Obviously, if you want your car to last the whole weekend, 3 days with like 20 stages, you've got to have maintenance, which is kind of hard for me because I kind of know what's going on, but all the help I get is amazing to get me through it. Yeah.
When you first broke the winch rope, did you have a spare one already as well?
No, there was a guy there. He comes with a few winch ropes because I think he knows it's going to happen. So yeah, I brought one off him, and yeah, it's still the same one. So we haven't had any rocks rubbing on it to snap the line. There's been a few close calls, like especially Drive Tech. Up one of the big hills with massive rocks on it. But, yeah, it was safe.
Alright, so the last question we got for you today is, have you got any advice for any other girl racers or women that want to get into winch truck racing? Or?
I definitely recommend buying just a weekend car, take out with your mates and stuff to see if you really do enjoy it, because it is a lot of time and effort and money to set one up. And the people that run the winch comps are called Cross Country Drivers Association.
Okay.
So they've a lot of details on their website of how to set it up, what you need. There's videos, I'm pretty sure. Also another idea would be to get onto someone like myself or anyone else that races for advice.
Yeah, sweet.
And yeah.
Alright, well Molly, thanks for letting us interview you and watch you race. It's been really cool for us, and I'm probably definitely going to buy a winch truck now, so...
Or build one.
yeah, well...
Either way.
Yeah, either way. I know a few people that want to do it with me, so that'll be pretty fun. Maybe I'll see you on the trucks, but if anyone wants to get in contact with you, I guess how are we going to do that?
I actually have a Facebook page called Moltrol Racing, so go in there and like that, and you can message me through that if you want to get in touch or get involved in winch trucking.
Yeah, perfect. So this is 4x4 Together signing out on our 5th episode. Thanks for having us, and thanks for letting us interview you.
No worries, anytime.